Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's Heart to Heart. I'm your host, Karin Maestro, health and transformation coach, breast cancer and BRCA2 thriver. And today we are going to be talking about a topic that has been a journey for me, and it's a topic that I think many of us don't realize is crucially important if we are interested in lowering our risk of getting breast cancer again, or just wanting to live overall a healthier lifestyle. So today we're going to be talking about why toxins matter more after breast cancer. And today I'm going to be doing things a little bit differently. And I'm going to be showing you actually some slides, okay? Because I'm going to be sharing a lot of statistics. And I don't know about you, but I can't remember all of them. So I wanted to put them down so that you get to hear them and see them so that hopefully they resonate a little bit more for you. So I've put this slide deck together. And we'll go through it. You can revisit it, obviously, as many times as you need to. If you are watching this in the Healthy Living After Breast Cancer Facebook community, this video will also be in our guides section. If you're watching it elsewhere, just bookmark it so that you can go back to it, because it's one of those that you'll probably want to watch more than once. So if you're on live, don't forget to say hi. Feel free to ask questions as we go through. This is for you. And I want you to know, and I'll share a little bit more about this, as we go through, but my goal with everything that I do is to lighten the load that you are carrying. What do I mean by that? I mean, I want to make your life easier. I want to make it less stressful. I find so often that our heads are spinning with so much information, but we're not taking action, right? It puts us into procrastination paralysis. And so we don't take action. So my goal is to kind of chunk it down into doable bite-sized pieces so that you can actually take action. And that's what I mean by lightening the load. I want to make it easy. I want to make it simple. I want to make it doable for you so that you can really implement what I'm teaching and change your life. Okay. Hi, Susan. Thank you so much for being here. As always, you're so good. Anybody else, if you're on live and want to say hi, pop on into the chat and say hi. If you are watching on Facebook, you do need to allow StreamYard access to your name. It doesn't see anything, doesn't see your contacts, your friends, anything like that. It just sees your name. So feel free to hop on into the comments. And like I said, feel free to ask questions as we go through this. This is live. I am here with you. So take advantage. Okay, take advantage of that. This is, this could very easily be a workshop that I charge for, and I am not. And over the whole month of September, we are going to be talking about toxins, specific things that you can do, and you'll see as we go through. Okay, so today we're talking about why toxins matter so much after breast cancer. So I want you to do like a little introduction for you. So if you haven't yet met me, welcome and hi, I'm Karin. I have always been interested in health for as long as I can remember. But I was first made aware of the lack of regulation around a lot of our products and things that we might use with sunscreen. And this was before my breast cancer diagnosis. Okay, I was introduced, and I'm going to share a little bit more about what I was introduced to as we go through today. But before my diagnosis, I'd made some shifts to less toxic products. But after my diagnosis, discovering that I had breast cancer and the BRCA2 genetic mutation, making my risk of breast cancer, ovarian cancer, melanoma, eye cancer, and pancreatic cancer higher. I knew that there was a lot more that I could do if I was really serious about lowering my risk. So, in typical Karen fashion, I set out to find someone under whom I could study, right? I knew that I needed more information. I knew I needed to dive into this extremely big and complex world of environmental toxins. And I needed it to not be too sciencey, right? Because I didn't want to or need to get into all the chemical makeups. But through that, I found Laura Adler, and she's incredible, and she's an environmental toxin educator. And I studied under her. Okay, I did that so that you don't have to, because I'm chunking it down even more for you. And I'm going to be sharing some of what I learned studying under her expertise here with you today. So today we're going to cover how toxins affect your health, specifically, obviously, our breast health, why you need to be a toxin detective. And I'm also going to be sharing the app that you do not want to live with it. So, part one, let's talk about how toxins can affect your health. And we're going to be talking about the common issues that we encounter with toxic overload or a sluggish detox response. And by that, I mean our liver function. Our liver is our detoxing organ. So, our liver function is really important. That can be affected by chemo, by radiation, by medications that we take. So, it's really important. Our lymphatic system is our system that detoxifies our body, goes all around our body, collects toxins, and transports them. So we want to make sure to help our body in that way. So these are some of the things that toxins can affect in our body. They can cause massive hormonal imbalances. So for any of you like me who had hormone receptive breast cancer, I was ER/PR positive, HER2 negative. This is really important. Not only can it affect our hormones, and that hormone imbalance can affect heart disease, diabetes, insulin resistance, weight gain, obesity, breast cancer, and infertility. So we're not just talking about breast cancer here. This is a much bigger, more serious problem. Now, when we're dealing with hormonal imbalance, and for most of us, I'm on letrozole, most of us that are on estrogen blocking medications, we might be dealing with this, and it might be some of our side effects, right? Headaches, moodiness, PMS type symptoms. You may have PCOS, absent or heavy periods, painful periods if you still are premenopausal, hair loss, facial hair in women. You might lose the outer third of your eyebrows, or you may have thinning lashes, lack of sex drive, fertility issues, thyroid imbalance, weight issues, or difficulty losing or gaining weight. These can all be signs of hormonal imbalance, which obviously, like I said, most of us having gone through breast cancer are going to be dealing with hormonal imbalance. Menopause is one of the biggest side effects of going through breast cancer treatment. So really important, okay? The key here is, there's certain things that we cannot change and there are things that we can change. We're focusing on the things that we can change, right? Why worry about what we can't? Nope. The other things that we might be looking at with toxins and how they can affect our body and our health are gut issues. Things like IBS, acid reflux, constipation, indigestion, food allergies and intolerances, and even things like belly bloating or gas. Let me know in the chat if you're relating to any of these. Sleep issues. I know so many women say to me, Karen, I just can't sleep anymore. Or I get asleep, but I can't stay asleep, right? Maybe you're not getting into that deep sleep. You're not waking up feeling rested. And sleep disturbances can be a symptom of imbalance in hormones, blood sugar, and or neurotransmitters, that stuff going on in our brain. Okay? All of these things can be caused by environmental toxins. Skin issues, acne, psoriasis, eczema, oiliness, dryness, wrinkles. The skin expresses internal imbalance. Did you know that? Energy. This is a big one, right? How many of us after breast cancer are struggling with our energy level? Many, right? It's one of the biggest complaints that I hear. Sleep, energy, hot flashes, right? These are all things. And so if we see that toxins can affect all of these, wouldn't it make sense that if we address the toxins, it's going to help? Yeah. So energy, low energy, chronic fatigue, malaise, never feeling rested, feeling worse after exercise. These can all be indicators of toxin overload and a sluggish detox response. And also our mood. Did you know that toxins can affect our mood? Mood swings, anxiety, depression, compulsions, emotional eating. So take a minute, let those sink in. How many of those things that I've just gone through are an issue for you? Even one thing from the list is enough of a sign that your body could use some detox support. And I don't mean to do a detox. I'm going to talk about that in a second. Okay, but how many of those are issues for you? And we just put it down to side effects from breast cancer, which many of them are. I'm not negating that. But if we are adding to them with things that we are using in our life, which I'll be going into, like I said, over the whole month of September, if you're watching this live, we can make a difference. And if you think that toxins may not be a problem for you, know that studies that babies are born preloaded with toxins. We've all got toxins in our body. Now, part two, I want you to know why you need to be a toxin detector. Here are all the statistics. 100 to 150,000 chemicals are registered for worldwide use. That's a big number, right? That's a lot of chemicals. 86,000 is the number of chemicals registered for use in the US. 62,000 is the number of chemicals that were grandfathered in when the Toxic Substances Control Act was passed. This means that 62,000 chemicals were given a free pass and an automatic presumption of safety without any requirement to actually test to see if they actually were indeed safe. 62,000 chemicals were given a free pass. In 1938, that was the last time that our primary policy regulating cosmetics, the Food and Drug and Cosmetics Act, was updated. 1938. For all of your personal care products, your shampoo, your conditioner, your deodorant, your makeup, your sunscreen, anything that you are putting on your body, the last time that the law, a major law, was passed is 1938. This industry today, the personal care industry, is a $500 billion industry. And by the way, this law is written on 1.5 sheets of paper. 80% of the personal care products on our shelves, whether it's in the supermarket or you're buying off the internet, have never been tested for safety. I'm going to read that again and let it sink in. 80% of the personal care products on our shelves today have never been tested for safety. In 2009, the Environmental Working Group, or EWG, as you'll hear me refer to them as, tested the umbilical blood of 10 newborns and found more than 280 industrial pollutants, including 180 carcinogens, 217 neurotoxins, and 208 reproductive toxins. Yes, as somebody is sharing, that's pretty scary. It is. That's why I'm so passionate about sharing this information, because it's things that we need to know. It's not fair that we don't know this. We can tend to kind of assume that if things are on the shelves, then they're safe. And the answer is they absolutely are not. And Dr. Joseph Pizzorno, who's the founding president of Bastyr University and the author of The Toxin Solution, a great book, by the way, says that toxicity is the primary driver of disease. So what do all these statistics show us? Essentially, that there are thousands of unregulated toxins in our daily environment that are having a massive impact on our health. Massive. And what I think is really important for you to realize is that 85% of breast cancer diagnoses are attributed to a person's lifestyle and environment. Only 15% are due to genetics. I fall into that 15% for the BRCA2, but 85%. So that's scary, yes. And I do not categorically want you to blame yourself for getting sick. Okay. Please do not do that. It's not your fault because you didn't know this yet. Okay. So do not blame yourself for not taking action on something that you didn't know yet. But now you're being faced with a pretty cool opportunity to make changes, because I want you to be able to do what you can to help lower your risk. And it does not need to be hard. Simply swapping out one product for another product that you're already buying and making a safer choice. I'm going to be showing you how to do it, so don't worry. Okay. Now, those environmental factors, right, are diet, alcohol consumption, infections, stress, obesity, medical treatments like radiation, naturally occurring radon gas, and environmental chemical exposures like we're talking about. Now, you may think that what we don't realize is that the average American spends, and this is prior to COVID, the statistic, the average American spends 70% of their time in their home. So we can talk about the air outside, we can talk about gas emissions and things like that. But if you're spending 70% of your time in your home, you get to change things. Get excited because you get to control many of those factors. And knowing that the air in our homes is often 500 times more toxic than the air outside because of what we're using in our homes. Now, small shifts in our daily routine can often lead to transformational changes in our health. And somebody here is sharing, and if you're a Facebook user, please, if you feel comfortable, allow a StreamYard just above this video. There's going to be a little button where it says allow StreamYard access to your Facebook. Then I can see who I'm actually talking with. It brings up your name versus what I'm seeing is just Facebook user. And I'd love to know who I'm actually talking with. But again, your choice. So somebody is sharing that they were definitely in the 85%. That's why they're so much more aware and practice conscious self-care. 100%. 100%. There's so much that we can do. So you might be wondering, can't we just do a detox? Well, I invite you to think of your body as a rowboat. Okay? And the pores on our skin are holes in that rowboat. And so the water, which are the toxins, know that everything that we put on our skin is absorbed into our body. Everything. Everything. So anything that is touching on around our skin is absorbed into our body. So that's your rowboat with holes, and the water is just seeping in, right? Now, a detox would be equivalent to us bailing out the water, but the holes aren't plugged. So the toxins keep coming in. So could we do a detox? Yeah. But wouldn't it be more effective to plug up the holes first? Then you do a detox, and then you're left with less toxins. So many of us think by, hey, Amy, I'm so glad that you're on there. It should be at the very bottom of the description. It should say about StreamYard. But I'm so glad that you're here. Thanks for joining. Good to see you. And so does that make sense about the rowboat, guys? Just drop a yes in the chat if it does. I want to make sure that you really understand this concept because it's life-changing, right? It's not about detoxing our body. First, we need to stop being bombarded with the amount of environmental toxins first. Great. I'm seeing some yeses. I'm glad that this is landing and it's making sense because it's really, really important. And this is an area of your life that you can have so much impact, right? Good, 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 good. I'm seeing lots of yeses. Good. So are you ready to find your inner Sherlock Holmes? You know, I'm always going to have these British, references and discover where these toxic chemicals are hiding. So here we go into part 3, the app that you do not want to live without. I'd like to introduce you to the Environmental Working Group, as I said, otherwise known as EWG. And they have done the hard work and the research so that we don't have to become scientists overnight. Because, and I think this is part of the reason I hear from so many people and they say, Karin, it's just so confusing. It's so confusing. And all I see are all of these words on bottles, and I don't know what's what. I don't know what's good. I don't know what's bad. We're not scientists. You know what? Neither am I. I was just like you. But I've researched and researched and researched and found the best, easiest, simplest information, and I've chunked it down to share it with you. So I'm sharing the no fluff stuff. Okay, getting rid of the fluff, just sharing the actionable steps. Now, you're about to become new besties with this amazing group because they have databases for personal care products, cosmetics, food, sunscreen, water, cleaning products, and more. And there's an app, and it's called EWG Healthy Living. And it looks just like you're seeing on the screen. I took this screenshot right from the app. So if you go to your app store, I think it's available for everybody, iPhone, Android. I think it's available for everybody. So it's EWG Healthy Living app. When you download the app, this is what you're going to see. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And I want to just take you through how it works because I know sometimes it can feel a bit confusing. But essentially, they use a traffic light system. Okay, a red, and let me back up for a second. So let's talk about personal care products because I think that's what we're going to be going into next week. So let's talk about personal care products. What EWG is, it rates the personal care products from 0, or actually EWG verified now, up to 10. Okay, 0 being the least amount of toxicity, 10 being the most. Now, I shared at the beginning that my introduction to these personal care products and less toxicity and the need for more regulation was due to sunscreen. And I have had skin cancer a couple of times. And I had a dermatologist that I trust like crazy. And she had recommended a sunscreen for not just me to use, but for me to use with my kids and stuff too. Of course, I trusted her. The brand that she recommended was what I thought was a clean, highly respected brand. Okay. Then along comes this angel into my life. Her name is Michelle, and she introduced me to EWG. And when I looked up, and I'm going to show you how to look up, okay? When I looked up that sunscreen, it was an 8 out of 10 for toxicity. And what I love about this app is it also shares why. And it was an 8 out of 10 because it contained carcinogens, cancer-causing ingredients that I was putting on my skin to stop getting cancer. I don't get angry very often. I got angry. I really did. I felt betrayed. I felt like the wool had been pulled over my eyes. Now, I wasn't upset with my dermatologist, although many might be, because I know that she just hadn't studied it yet. She was very interested when I introduced this information to her, however. But this is why we need to be the detective. This is why we have to advocate, again, for our own health and well-being. Okay, so something like this app, or there's also the website, ewg.org, that is profoundly helpful in figuring these things out. So I changed my sunscreen naturally. And now my personal guideline is in the green. It's got to be in the green, which is 0, 1, or 2. And so 2 or under is my personal guideline for any product that I use. Now, you can moderate hazard you can look at, and it might be for something like an allergy or something like that, as opposed to carcinogens. But you want to look at why. And then you get to make the decision that's in alignment with you. Okay, it's my job to provide the information. It's yours to do with as you want. So you can choose how you use the app. You can search. So you can actually search for your favorite products by their name. You can browse. So if you wanted to, you could go into skincare and browse and just look around, or sunscreen and browse and look around. Or, and this is one of my favorites, and if you have kids, please get them involved in this because it's fun. I've even done this in the store, by the way, too. You can scan the barcode. If that product is in their database, which not 100% of products are, then it will come up with the information for that product. You want to make sure that you're saving the products that you're looking at. And you can log in and save them, and you can actually create a list. So when you log in and create like your own profile in the app, you can save them. So you don't have to keep, thinking about, okay, what was that? What was that? It's there and it's saved, which is a great helpful tool, I think. So if we're searching, this is what comes up. You literally, we can see here that we've searched under sunscreen. And it's a quick and easy way to look for your specific products, right? You can just scroll through and see where your product is. And you can see, guys, what these are rating here right now, 7s and 8s, for some really well-known sunscreens. Sunscreen is a big one. If you want to browse, then you can browse, as you can see, by EWG Verified, which is their own stamp of approval, which is great, super helpful, right? You can look under personal care products, food, sunscreens, cleaners, everything. Okay, you can look. You may just be saying, Karen, give me a list. Just tell me what to buy. It would be so much easier. Susan's asking, can this be accessed on a laptop as opposed to a phone? Yes, Susan. If you look up ewg.org, that is their website, and you can 100%, you just can't scan, obviously, from your laptop, but you can browse and you can search 100%. That's how I use it most of the time, unless I'm out and about and then I'm scanning products. Amy's playing with it right now. Amy, you did it. I can see your name. I love it. Yeah. It's so much fun to use. It can be a little scary and intimidating, right? And so, but it's eye-opening, to say the least. It's eye-opening, to say the least. Now, as I was saying, many people say, Karen, just give me a list. So I do want you guys to know that I will let you know at the end here, I do have part of my Essentials for Thriving course is module 2 is all on reducing toxins. In there, I have got the exact plan that I follow, plus access to all of the products that I recommend and use. Okay, so I'm going to be telling you how you can get that at the end if you would like to get my exact system. Okay, so if you choose to scan, you just hit allow access to your camera and you get to scan your products, the bar scan, and see what it comes up with. And so let's kind of take a look at some of the results and what they mean. Okay. This is funny. Susan is sharing that ironically her plan today is to clean out underneath the sink. Here we go, Susan. This could not have come at a better time for you. And by the way, I think so often we think that if we're changing our products to cleaner, that we're going to spend more money. I want you guys to know, especially for household cleaners, I have one concentrate cleaner that gets diluted into different amounts for depending on what I'm using. I use it for laundry, for bathrooms, for general cleanup, hand soap, everything. One. So I spend a lot less money using this one cleaner. Okay, so please don't think it needs to be more expensive because it doesn't. You just need to know the right place to look. Again, within my Essentials for Thriving course, I have done all of that research and I share it all with you in there. So let's take a look at the results. Okay, I just did, for instance, this Neutrogena sunscreen, and it comes up at the top right. You see it comes up with a red, so it's a traffic light. So red automatically for me means no way, Jose. And this comes up as a 7. Now you can see it also comes up with health hazard concern and the UVA UVB balance. Now, if you click, hang on, and then it comes up with the ingredients also. So you can see what the ingredients are if you want to get more sciencey. Retinol palmitate, by the way, turns into a carcinogenic when it goes in the sun. This particular sunscreen has retinol palmitate in it. And obviously we're going in the sun and we're putting on sunscreen. So really important. So if we click on the health hazard concern, it will bring up why it's of concern. So the ingredients are linked to adverse health effects like allergies, hormone disruption, and cancer. Well, let me see. I had hormone receptive breast cancer. So this is on a definite no for me. But I like that I get information. Then I can make a choice for myself. Either I'm going to buy it or I'm not. I would choose something different personally based on this result. But that's me. So before you get overwhelmed and start scanning everything in sight, right? You need a plan of action and a system. A system. So this month, September, if you're watching live, if you're catching the replay, it's probably already there. I'm going to be guiding you through a 3-phase game plan. That's hard to say. We're going to go in the bathroom, in the kitchen, and then around the house. And Amy's sharing it would be interesting if they had a few more products from the natural company I love and use. We'll definitely use their educational component outlining specific ingredients. And Amy loves how this app empowers us. That's the whole thing, Amy, right? It's the empowerment to make the choice that works for us. Now, if you've got kiddos in the family, this is even more important, or grandchildren, right? So as I said earlier, in module 2 of my self-study program, Essentials for Thriving, you get the exact system that I followed to detoxify my home. The kitchen, the bathroom, and around the home, and my product recommendations. If you want to learn more about Essentials for Thriving, you can hop on over to that website. You can also find the link above or below this video, depending on where you're watching it, or you can screenshot the QR code. I'll leave it up here for a second. Actually, I'll go to, it's going to be popping up again, guys. So today we've covered how toxins can affect your health. Right? I think we have a better idea of how all of these environmental toxins are affecting our health, why you need to be a toxin detective, because unfortunately these things are not being governed correctly, and you've learned the app that you cannot do without. So here are your action tasks. I want you to figure out why it's important to you to decrease toxins. Think about all of those health implications that we talked about earlier. Reread the statistics if you want to. Go back, watch through this. Know how important this is to your health. Make sure that you download the Healthy Living app by EWG. And also don't forget, check out Essentials for Thriving and follow the exact system that I used and continue to use on a daily basis to clean up our home. There's the link again. It's bit.ly, bit.ly/E4TABC, Essentials for Thriving After Breast Cancer. Or you can simply take a screenshot of the QR code. So let me know if y'all leave that up for you guys. Let me know if you're on here, if you had any aha moments. Did you realize how many toxins there are, how they're affecting your health, right? And how making safer swaps can truly help to start lowering your risk of getting sick again or getting sick in the first place. This is relevant for all of us. Whether you've been diagnosed with breast cancer, you're a genetic mutation carrier, or you're a healthy lifestyle seeker and you just want to do what you can to not be part of that 1 in 8 statistic. Knowing that breast cancer is an environmental disease, which it is, then this is one of the truly key factors. Yeah. And Amy's sharing here that from the initial lists, right, she's recognizing that everything in our life is affected by toxins 100%. 100%, Amy. And like I said, it's a really in-depth subject, which is why there's more of it over in my Essentials for Thriving course. Obviously, I can't put everything here in 30 minutes or around 30 minutes. I'm doing my best to give you as much as I can. But obviously, there's more over in Essentials for Thriving, including the game plan, including the checklist, including my product recommendations. If you want to say, you know what, just tell me what to buy, which a lot of people do. It just makes it easier. I'm happy to. Okay. I'm happy to. So any questions or comments, aha moments that you'd like to share before we finish up today, guys? I hope that this has been helpful. This was a brief introduction to toxins and why it's so important to us now after breast cancer, especially. And like I said, pop back for our Heart to Hearts every Monday at noon Eastern time. And for the whole month of September, we're going to be talking and diving deep with toxins. And, I know it's going to be eye-opening. I know it's going to be like a little bit mind-blowing. But I'm here to answer your questions. I'm here to support you. Do not try to tackle this on your own. It is a lot. It's a lot. So start by getting the app. Start by getting curious. And Susan's sharing that she's going to let me know afterwards when she gets done under the sink how everything rated. I can't wait to hear, Susan. I know you'll be sharing in the Facebook group. It's going to be mind-blowing. Get ready to have your mind blown. You'll be really, really shocked. And here's the thing, right? When we know that the air in our house is so much more polluted than the air outside, we get to make changes. We get to make changes. So be excited about that versus upset that there isn't regulation. That's not the point of this. I want you to take away from this that you get to be Sherlock Holmes. You get to be a detective. You get to make different choices. Get excited about that. Get empowered by that. And know that you can make a difference in your health, in your kids' health, in your grandkids' health. Okay. I get passionate. I can't help it because it is exciting to know that there is something you can do. Think about it. You're buying a product anyway. All you need to do is buy a safer product when you know what to buy. That's it. It's one of the easiest things that you can be doing to improve your health and help lower your risk. I'd say that's a pretty good thing to be focusing on. Okay. All right, guys, finishing up. Can't wait to see Susan. What's under your sink? And Amy, thank you so much for being here. Everybody else that's watching, thank you so much for watching. I hope that this was really enlightening. And I'll see you next week for next week's Heart to Heart. We're going to be diving into the bathroom, going into the bathroom and seeing what's going on in there, what we need to be looking at, and what some other choices that we could be making. Okay? I will see you then, guys. Have an amazing week. Happy Labor Day to those of you in the US, and I will see you next week. Bye for now.